First of all, I mean, thank you so very much for accepting the invitation of this live. We are honored to have you on board. How are you doing?
Um, I'm doing very good. Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be here also.
And again, sorry for the delay in live. We were scheduled at 9:30 p.m., but we're starting at 10:30. So yeah, thank you so much for it.
You're welcome. It's okay. I'm pretty understanding.
Yeah. So yeah, we received so many questions for you regarding your preparations and your journey for Miss World. We have shortlisted few questions out of them, and we'll ask those questions. We have also received some on-stage questions, like which were asked at Miss World in the previous editions, and we have also shortlisted few questions out of them as well. So we'll ask all those questions one by one. But the very first question that I really want to ask you is, what was your reaction when you got to know that India is hosting Miss World again?
Well, I was pretty happy to be honest. It was a little. I was waiting for the news for a long time, so when I saw it and it was
Yeah.
in India, I was very relieved because I have a lot of family in India, as in like family. How to explain it? Like family friends in India. I have a lot of
Mhm.
people that are in India that I'm very close with, and I was very happy. And it's always been one of the places that I really want to go to and explore the culture. The people that I know that are from India has been they've been very close to me, like they're
Yeah.
like my family. And I feel like Ethiopian and Indian culture are have something in similar with our food, our
Yeah.
cuisines, and a lot of things. So I was very happy, and I'm looking very forward to it because like I want to like experience the culture there. I was very happy.
How's the preparation going for all the rounds at Miss World?
Well, as you know, as you said it already, Miss World is a very big pageant, might be the biggest one also. So
Yeah.
I am preparing, and my country has been very supportive. In Ethiopia, pageantry is like an upcoming industry. Not a lot of people really know about pageantry, so like setting an example is a very big thing for us. So for me, in preparation, I'm trying to set an example for the future contestants also, and give everything that I have for it. So I'm taking care of my mental health as well as my physical health, and also the things that I advocate for. I advocate for women and children. So I'm working with them more than ever and getting to know everything, and it also gives you like mental satisfaction that you're doing this because it's such an honor. Like it's bigger than just a beauty contest, it's bigger than
Yeah.
just everything. It's just very beautiful. So I am preparing physically, mentally, emotionally to be there. It's such an honor. Representing a country is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Ethiopia have a lot of population and a lot of different nationalities. So bringing 80 different nationalities to one stage and showing my country is such an honor. And yeah, the preparation has been very good.
We all know this thing that BWAP is the most important part of Miss World. And I always say this thing that without BWAP, there is no Miss World. So would you like to elaborate about your BWAP to everyone?
Well, as I already told you, I advocate for women and children, and the women and children that I work with, I'm ambassador for this charitable organization called Maya Charitable Organization. Has been ambassador for a while, and it basically works with children that have spinal bifida and hydrocephalus, which is a syndrome that's going to happen on kids from birth. But if the mother takes enough folic acid, that can be prevented. So I work on setting awareness for women and as I told you, it's so much more than a beauty contest. And as I told you already, as it's an up and coming industry in Ethiopia, like
Yeah.
getting this kind of good response from my people has also been very, building and constructive. So Beauty's purpose is more than us, more than the industry, also more than pageantry, because it's not only like shows that there is so much for this community. It's just more than me, as you said, like coming from Ethiopia, like being called Ethiopia. I've been in another international pageant, and like we were never called by our names, and that was the one thing
Yeah.
that really resonated. They used to call me Ethiopia. I used to call them by their names, like
Yeah.
by their country names. So being called Ethiopia and having something behind me, having those children, those women, and those kids behind me has been a very like the crucial point of it all. It's not only me that I'm representing, the kids are behind me, and everything that I do, and when I represent my country, when I represent the women, the exposure that I have is going to be their
Yeah.
exposure also. So like beauty's purpose is like the essential part of every pageantry. I think should have that kind of asset to it.
Pageant is going to be in Telangana, Hyderabad. So in Hyderabad, one of the most famous dishes is Hyderabadi biryani. So
Yes.
you are going to love it.
uh, oh my god, I can't wait.
Regarding your friendship with your fellow contestants. So, I pageantry is also about, it's not just about competition, it's also about friendships that you make because you are going to be friends or you're going to be participating with more than 100 countries all over the world. So have you talked to your fellow contestants as of now? And have you found your bestie from the pageant?
I mean, I can't say bestie. I love them all equally. Like, I've had the privilege to be talking to Miss World South Africa. I've had the privilege
Yeah,
to be like sharing some personal messages with Natasha, Miss World, Uganda.
yeah,
They're all amazing women, and different other women like Miss World USA, very nice women, very friendly. I
yeah,
love them all. I
yeah,
can't wait to like meet them and have that bond because, as you said, the bond that you make, the sisterhood goes beyond the competition.
exactly.
So it's nice to know that you have a sister in every country. You know, like it's very beautiful to have that kind of bond.
Just regarding your evening gown, your national costume, and your other steps for the other rounds. So have you shortlisted your wardrobe, your evening gown, your national costume?
I am taking a lot of clothes to India, so like not well finished, not well composed, but national costume and evening gown are there, of course. So basically, national costume, I think I'm going to do my justice for my people. There is a very good designer out there called Fetil Design. It's an Ethiopian brand that really works on Ethiopian indigenous kind of like clothes, and it's
Yeah,
very beautiful. So I'm going to be wearing the dress that Feta Lulu is going to be preparing for me, which I'm very excited for. And I
yeah,
just want to incorporate a lot of indigenous designers into my Miss World preparation because I'm going to be showing my country. And as I told you, in my country, we have a lot of people. You know, like a lot of people, as in a lot of ethnicities, a lot of
yeah,
different kind of people. Ethiopia is very diverse, so I want to show that part to other people because I don't want people to think that Ethiopia looks like me. Ethiopia does look like me, but Ethiopia looks so different and beautiful in each faces. So I want to
yeah.
show every single state's like a unique feature and their clothes and everything. So preparation has been very good, and I hope India is going to be waiting for their best. And as I told you, since pageantry is like an up and coming industry in Ethiopia,
Yeah.
it's been hard. But I hope that what I'm doing now is going to make it better for the next queen and the next queen. So yeah, it's you're going to have a blast. Let me just say that.
So do you have any hobbies? You must be having though. And if yes, so did you have any kind of funny incident while performing those hobbies? For example, I love cooking, but when I started cooking, so I made so many blunders, so many mistakes in the kitchen while cooking food. So did you have any kind of same incident?
Yes, I do have I have a lot of hobbies. I like to read. I was a bookworm growing up my whole life, and on top of that, I can sing.
Yeah,
And that was like one part of me that has been with me since forever, you might say. And it's something that I really love doing.
yeah,
And it's like my special hobby. Like that, I can do that as a profession kind of hobby. That's like my very beautiful hobby. And other than that, like interacting with people, like you know how like I like making people feel safe around me, if that's considered as a hobby. You know, I have
yeah,
this
it
like
is.
I want like yeah like that is also one of my hobbies I think, and I have so many funny incidents with my hobbies by the way. For example, I was in a choir. And growing up, I've always been in a choir. And I
Yeah,
remember the first time that it's just more funny in the situation, like if it's not as funny when I say it. But when I first started singing solo, I started singing in church. So when first started singing solo, oh my god, the mistakes I made. And mind you, I'm on stage, so I've had a lot of funny incidents with singing, and hopefully we might see that more in the Miss World talent show. So I really worked with it, and now it really like like made me like better.
yeah,
That I made a lot of mistakes. So with singing, I
yeah.
have a lot of mistakes, but now I think I got the
One more comment for you, and someone is saying that that is our Miss World. So people are literally seeing the Miss World crown on you. Who is your favorite Miss World winner as of now?
To be honest, I got into the pageantry not quite long, but I've had a favorite Miss World even before I was into pageantry. Can you guess who that is? Just can you guess who that is?
Maybe,
A very iconic
maybe,
Miss World.
maybe Priyanka Chopra?
Yeah, guess what? I like when I tell you, growing up, I've been into like Bollywood like my whole life, and like and she was very young when she was Miss World
Yeah,
also, so
she
it
was
really
18 just.
inspired me. Like exactly. So I was now I'm 19. So when I feel like, oh, I'm too young, I'm this or that, like constant like negative comments coming to my head, I just think for myself,
Yeah.
oh, my role model, she did it very young, she did it gracefully. And as I told you, I've always been like in like connected with the Indian culture, with Indian, like I love the culture, I love the people. So she is my forever favorite Miss World. 2000, it was the iconic year.
Yeah, it was iconic. Like it was also iconic because that was the back-to-back victory for India at Miss World.
Yeah.
Because Miss World 1999 was also Miss India, and when
Mm-hmm.
Priyanka won in 2000, so I mean like she's iconic in every sense, from her career in Bollywood, then Hollywood, and of course her work as Miss World. She is truly iconic.
Very inspirational woman. Her career trajectory was like very good, and it's not only her career trajectory. You can see
Yeah,
how like a person is very hardworking. So
yeah.
it was a very inspirational woman, and I really love her. She's my forever like favorite Miss World.
She's iconic and we all love her. All right, moving on to the next question. So I think this question is very important because you are a beauty queen and you're representing your beautiful country at Miss World. With all the love and support that you're getting from all across the world, somehow you must have received some sort of criticism, some sort of cyberbullying on social media because we all face that. So how do you handle that, and how will you inspire young women and men, how to face trolling, how to face social media and the negative side of social media?
Um, that's a very good question. Um, Growing up, you know how I'm just 19. I don't want to say just 19. I've achieved a lot of things that are very good at just 19,
You're
but
doing fantastic at
it
19.
was thank you. But it's been a hard time. There were a lot of criticism. There were a lot of things that I received, cyberbullying, a lot of things. But in school, when I was in high school, I was the president of the IT club, and I remember myself standing between my peers and telling them that how we're going to be experiencing different criticism from different people that don't
Yeah,
even know us, that don't know our story, that don't know what we're going through. So I remembered that moment every time I get something on social media that I know doesn't represent me. I know that I can do
yeah,
better. The people don't know me. I usually tell myself that maybe I'm doing the right thing because it's attracting a lot of attention to get some negative
yeah,
attention. So I believe that cyberbullying is a very major issue that needs to be talked about more because everyone is just living in social media at this moment. And I've been going through that like since like we've been given like a very unreachable and unattainable beauty standards since we were kids. So feeling comfortable in our own bodies, like a self improvement. So it was um it was quite a journey, but like
yeah,
knowing yourself, like what is it called? Fixing your self esteem, knowing your worth, and being surrounded by the right people, and having a sound mind, not really affected by other people, negative attention, just knowing who you are, really being grounded on your values and principles, that
yeah,
really I think is going to shape how you respond to it. Because there are a lot of criticism that I still take, but I respond gracefully. Like I respond, oh, this person's just having a bad day. That's how you should go about it. And like people seeing how you respond are going to be thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. So it
yeah,
really like you have to be, as I told you, as being a representative of teen girls around the world, women in Ethiopia. I feel like I'm trying to set an example that everything that you see on social media is not true,
yeah.
and stop comparing yourself. You're your own beauty, and that's something that I learned the hard way, and I'm trying to fix for the people that I know.
That's a winning answer. And if this would have been the final 20, you would have gone very far in the competition. And so well said, so well said that it's very important to know your worth. It's very important to know that who you are. Because talking about my own story, so when I started Glamour of Pageants in 2023, I received so many comments. I received so much of cyberbullying, that why are you starting this stage? The reason one was that because according to the standard of society, pageantry is a feminine industry. It's not for male. It's not for boys out there. So people told me in this thing that you should not go for this industry as a pageant admin because this is for women out there. This is not for male. And at the time, I was like, I'm not asking anything from you all. I'm not asking money from you all. I'm just opening an account on Instagram on my mobile. That's it. But you people still have the problem with it, so that's not my fault. And my one of my teachers told me one thing very, very beautiful. And he told me this thing that uh, whenever you move forward in life, whenever you go ahead in life, so your journey is going to be very, very, very hard, very, very, very brutal as well. But remember this thing, the hardest the journey is, the impactful the success is gonna be. So keep on working on that, keep on thriving, you will surely get the reward of your hard work. So I have that thing in my mind and I keep on working after that. So you answered it very well. So kudos to you.
Yes, like the thing that we don't give up on, the thing that we're very passionate about. Of course, a lot of people are going to tell us otherwise, but pageantry, as I told you in Ethiopia, there is not a lot of awareness. So, me getting into
Yeah,
this industry, being a chemical engineering student and pursuing it still, it's a very hard thing to do. But being
yeah,
grounded on, oh, I want to make it better for the next future because I know how much potential Ethiopia got. uh, like I know where I stand. So knowing where I stand gives me all the security. So whatever other people say, it's just going to be like, you're having a bad day, you need to fix your attitude, and I hope you get better. That's the
yeah.
right way to go through it. And I'm very happy that you really like, went through it and like you got here, so we can talk like this.
I know that's amazing. And one more thing I really want to share. So how I opened Glamour of Pageants. So for other pageant pages, they might have a very fixed plan that okay, one day I will open a pageant page and I will post stuff of pageantry. For me, it was nothing like that. So one day, I think on 5th of May 2023, I was sleeping in the afternoon. I just woke up. I opened an account on Instagram. I named it Glamour of Pageants from somehow I don't know from where I got that name. And I went back to sleep. That's it.
You're like, done.
Done. I didn't have a plan before that one day I will open an account on Instagram naming it Glamour of Pageants. Nothing. I just woke up. I don't know why. And in my dreams, I was having something that I'm talking to some people from outside India. That's it. Opened this page and I went back to sleep. That's it. And that is the story of Glamour of Pageants.
I'm so happy Glamour Pageants is here because, as I told you, I learned a lot of things about Miss World, about the other queens on this page. So it really was very helpful, and I'm very happy that you really pursued it. It's such an honor. Like, you're a very strong person for this. So, applause.
Thank you so very much. All right. So we will start with our pageant patty questions. So we received so many questions for that. These questions were asked at Miss World in the previous editions. So the very first question is from Miss World 2017, when India won Miss World. So the question is, which profession deserves the highest salary and why?
Um, it's a very good question, and I was asked about this question some time back, and my answer
Yeah,
is still going to be the same. I don't think we can actually like rank professions like that and have one profession get the highest salary or not. I don't believe in saying one profession is better than the other profession because every profession is needed in its place.
yeah,
You get me? Like me being a pageant queen is helping tons of people behind me, tons
yeah,
of women and children behind me, and that profession is needed. Someone being in some industry and in some place, that person is very important in that place. And it doesn't really mean that when you're getting paid so much that you're doing a lot of work, and when you're getting paid less, you're not doing a lot of work. The world is a very weird place, but I
yeah,
believe that everyone in their own place, that they matter and their
yeah,
profession matter. And like, it's like, how do I explain this in a much better way? What I'm trying to say is every profession matter, so I can't say that one profession deserves a higher praise than the other.
yeah. That's a very smart thing to say, a very smart answer, and I totally agree with you as well. Because talking about one profession, talking about all the other professions. So I think one example that we can give for this question, for this answer, is going to be the pandemic time.
Yeah.
So when it was the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
so it was not just like that only teachers were working, only doctors were working. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
doctors played an important role in the medical industry, but all the other professions were also working. And I do feel that it's a complete life cycle. And for a life cycle, every part is important, every dimension is important. And I do feel that
Exactly.
all the professions are like different dimensions of life. So you said it very well that we can't choose one profession for the highest salary.
Exactly. Because, as an engineering student, we learn about different machines.
Yeah,
But in every different machine, you need a screw to make it work. Like the screws are the
yeah,
most important thing, or else everything is going to fall apart. So there is no small profession or profession that are like less valued than others. Just because something is big, as I told you, doesn't mean that they're doing the best job.
exactly. So well said, so well said. We move on to the next question. And this question is also, I think, very, very, very important. So, like, we all have our special people in our life, be it our parents, be it our family, be it our friends, or someone else. So, the question is, which living man or woman you admire the most in your life and why?
I admire the most from men my dad. My father is a very strong man. Growing up, I have had the best representation of a man,
Yeah,
and I feel like that really made me the person that I am because my parents have taught me hard work, resilience, and always going after of what I want. And I feel like growing up, I've always been very independent, but I am very like grateful for everything that they've done. The thing is, you
yeah,
know how when we're kids and our parents say, "Don't do this, don't do that," we think for ourselves, oh, but I want that. Like we feel like we know better for ourselves, but
yeah,
they do know better. So I really, really, really like admire my father with this. He has been there and he showed me how a man should be. So I really appreciate my father for that.
yeah,
He was working in field works for the longest times, so we might not had like that much of connection growing up, but we had all the connection in the world because when he came back, you know, he gave all of his time for us, for his
yeah,
children, and he was a good father. I really appreciate that about him. And the other is my mother. Can I have two people in there? Squeeze
yeah,
two people.
yeah,
The
sure.
other women, two women that I really admire and have been like, you know, I feel like it would be a crime not to say my family, to be honest, you know? So it's my mom and my auntie. They
Yeah,
have made me the woman that I am today. It's like growing up, you take after the people that you are around with. You know how
yeah.
blade is going to make another blade sharp? They have made me the woman that I am today. They had made me they made me speak my mind from when I was young. They made me to be the brave woman that I am today. So I owe everything I have for those three people in my life.
And that's an amazing and beautiful answer. And for all of us, our family members are so important because our parents specifically because they are the source of our life, you know. And I always say this thing that for every individual, their parents are like their God. And it's so well said also that God can't be everywhere, so that's why they God made parents, you know. And
Mm,
the connections that we have with our parents, though we might have some sort of disagreement or fights or argument with them time to time, but at the end, we know this thing that they only want the best for us and they are the only persons, or they might be the only person in this world who love us unconditionally and without any self-interest, you know. So yeah, it was an amazing answer.
thank you so much.
All right. Before asking next question, I really wanted to know this thing. So yeah, this question is a bit funny, I would say, because you as a pageant queen is gonna bring so many things to India for the competition, be it the wardrobe, be it any national costume, and all those stuff. So the question is, how many suitcases you are gonna bring to India?
That is that is a very good question. I don't know. I don't know yet, but it's going to be a lot of suitcases
Yeah,
that I'm going to be bringing to India. You know how in pageants that we bring different souvenirs. I want to
yeah,
bring the best of souvenirs from my country for my fellow queens. So I
yeah,
feel like it's going to be a lot of suitcases. And you know how I told you that I have a lot of family friends that are in India, a lot of community in India. Hopefully they're going to go to work and get me those bags to India. So a lot of bags. Maybe I don't know truly. Like if it's numbered, 10 maybe, 10 cases. Hopefully not more than 10. We pray.
I think 10 is a good number. Like it's a good
Really?
number to bring. Yeah,
Oh my
because
god. Thank
I
God.
don't know, like how will you manage 10 bags?
I can't. Already telling her I can't
I,
manage all those bags. It's just that Ethiopian clothes, when we come to our national clothes, it's called
yeah,
Habesha Kamis, and it's a very delicate and a very like big costume. Like most of the
okay,
time, I'm not saying that mine's going to be like that or not, anyways, but it needs a lot of care
yeah,
and different clothes. As I told you, I want to represent all of the nationalities that I'm representing as an Ethiopian woman.
yeah,
So 80 different nationalities. Not saying I'm going to bring all of the 80 ones, but you know, good representation needs a good canvas and a good
yeah,
things.
yeah. Yeah. And why I like asked this question because as I told you that we went to pick Miss World Finland last year from the airport when she arrived in India, and I still remember that day. My brother and I were there to pick her up from the airport, and she had 5 bags along with the national costume. So we booked a taxi so that we can just put all the bags in and the national costume, and we can just drop her to the hotel. But the funny part was that when we put all the bags, the 90% of the taxi was full of bags, and we just had 10% space left for 3 people to sit. And
Oh my god.
the whole back seat was all about her national costume because her national costume was too big. So we had to just
Mhm.
adjust the bags and the national costume altogether. And we were just thinking, should we book another taxi for all three of us, or should we go within this taxi, you know?
Yeah, I know. Oh my god, I feel like I'm going to have that trouble. Hopefully, it's not going to be more than like six. You know, that's too much. But we're going to be staying in India for 24 days. I can't
Yeah,
wait. I want to experience everything. I want to change my clothes every day. So maybe, I don't want to be like, oh, I wish I took that clothes. So I'm going to bring everything.
you should, because Miss World is a highly competitive pageant and you have to just give your best like every single day. So you must be needing lots of that.
Yes.
All right. So we have the very last question for you, and I just hope that you will get the chance to answer this question during the finals of Miss World if you enter top three or top five. So the question is, why should you be the next Miss World?
That's a very good question. I've always thought about that when I think about competing in Miss World. Like,
Yeah,
at the end of the day, we're competing for the crown, and what makes me deserve that crown? And
yeah,
I feel like what makes me deserve that crown is the hard work that I'm putting in for the competition and the resilience that I have and the compassion that I have for my people and also the Ethiopian women that are behind me because we've never really got the chance to be, like outshining in pageantry industry. We never got the chance to show the beauty that we have in our country.
yeah,
So I believe that me deserving the crown really like correlates to me like working hard for the crown and also how I show my people because if you know Ethiopia, if I really represent Ethiopia as much as I should, I will show you that Ethiopia is very deserving of the crown because we have a beautiful country, we have beautiful people as well as beautiful land, beautiful everything. Ethiopia is just the most
yeah,
beautiful. So I want to show that, and if I'm able to show that, I think I'm deserving of the crown, and I feel like I'm trying and working hard for that. So I feel like the compassion, the children, because if I am able to win, the kids that are under the organization that I'm working with are going to have a better chance of getting what they need to get. The mothers can take care of the children, and hopefully I can get the awareness across the world about spinal bifida and hydrocephalus.
yeah,
Beside Ethiopia, there are a lot of kids and a lot of women that this can occur to. As I told you, spinal bifida is the kind of disease that happen in a pregnancy because a mother
yeah,
has lack of like iron and different things. Vitamin B is a very like
yeah,
common thing that we see that women are lacking, and that shouldn't be a trend or whatsoever because lacking vitamin B, lacking different things mean that your child is at risk. So that awareness is going to be raised if I'm Miss World. So I feel like I'm very deserving of the crown because my people are deserving of the title. And hopefully, if, as I told you, when I probably, uh, if I really get to anywhere close or be Miss World 2024, I feel like Ethiopia is going to get the most exposure and we're
yeah.
going to get like gems for the world. So hopefully, may God be with me. And yeah, that is my answer.
That's a very convincing answer, you know. And I mean, like this would have been the personal interview question, so the judges must have been convinced by you that why they should crown you as the next Miss World.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a wonderful answer. All right, so we are done with all the questions from our side. So before we end this live, we are going to do one last segment, and the segment is my most favorite part of the live. And what we are going to do right now, I'm going to announce this thing that Miss World 2025 is Ethiopia, and you have to give your winning reaction. Like, how would you react on stage if you win the crown for Ethiopia?
Oh my god, I don't know if I can do that. I feel like I'm going to be in tears all the way, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's just capture this. So I mean, like, it's going to be kind of a practice session for you if you win in reality the crown. So let's just capture that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of Miss World 2025 is Ethiopia. Woo! It's going to be
Give me my
amazing if you
crown.
win.
Thank you so much. It's been very amazing. I really appreciate you because you told me that you had a little inconvenience, and thank you so much for
Yeah,
being here. And it's been a very insightful live conversation that we had. Thank you so much. I'm very happy that you didn't quit, and I hope that you never quit. And I hope to
yeah.
see you in India.
That's going to be amazing. And again, thank you so very much for this live. It was honor to chat to you. And you're doing an amazing job as Miss World Ethiopia. And hopefully, we might see you as the next Miss World. I mean, like, all the best for Miss World. And we can't wait to see you in Telangana, India, with the sweet laddus.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good day. Bye bye.